In this video, I'm going to do these two questions from the chapter Straight Lines. Let's begin with the first one. So the question says, find the equation of a line which is passing through the point of intersection of these two lines, right? And that line has an equal intercept on the axis. So let's say if I make two lines here, the two lines whose equations are given, one is this, and let's say I make this other line, so this one. And then I'll write down the equation of this line. This is say this is 4x from here, right? We have the equation of this line as what? 4x plus 7y. I can write equal to 3 on the other side. And the other line whose equation I take as 2x minus 3y is equal to -1 from here. And now what we have to find out is the equation of another line passing through the intersection of these two lines. That means we have to get the equation of this line. And we have some other information about this line, that the information we have that this line is making an equal intercepts on the axis. So this green line, I can say from here that it's making an equal intercept implies that x over a plus y, I can say that the x and the y intercepts are equal. So I can take b as y is equal to 1, right? B as a, because they are equal. So I can even replace b with a is equal to 1. So from taking LCM, we can say that x plus y is equal to a. Now you may think, or you may be thinking that if I get the value of a, right, then we can say we can find out the equation of the line. The concept involved here is that first we'll be solving these two equations, and that should give you the point of intersection, right? That will give you the point of intersection of these two lines. So before we proceed, let's find out the equation point of intersection. The first line is how much? It is 4x plus 7y is equal to 3. And the other line is this. So I'll multiply 2 on this to do the elimination. So if I multiply 2 on this, what I'll get? 2 times this is 4x minus 2 times this is what? Minus 6y is equal to 2 times this, which is minus 2. As I said, I'll be going by elimination. So it's minus plus minus. This get cancelled. So now we have 3 plus 6 is how much? 13. 13y is equal to, this is plus, right? Is 3 plus 2, which is 5. So I got y is equal to 5 over 13. Now, once we get the value of y, I'm going to replace y in any of the equation to get x. So let's say I do over here. This is 2 times x minus 3 multiplied by this. Y is equal to -1. So we have 2x. This is minus 15. So if I transpose it on the other side, it's going to be plus 15 over 13, right? And with further simplification, what does it comes? Minus 13 plus 15 is what? 2 over 13, right? This will give you 2 over 13. And if I cancel with this 2, I get x as what? 1 over 13. Right. So we got the point of intersection of this point. Let's say I take this point P, and I now know the coordinate of this, whose x coordinate is 1 over 13 and y coordinate is 5 over 13. Now, what you can figure out from the diagram that this point P will also satisfy this point P will also satisfy this green line. Why? Because these are concurrent lines and all these three lines are passing through this point P. So that means I can replace this x. I can replace this x here in the equation. I can replace this x with its value, which is 1 over 13. So if I do so, let's say I'll write x as 1 over 13 and y, which we got as 5 over 13, is equal to a. So this is how much? 6 over 13 is equal to A. So once we got the value of A, now I can replace A over here. So final answer will be what? X plus Y is equal to A, which is 6 over 13. And we can also modify and write in the standard form, say 3x, 13x plus 13y minus 6 is equal to 0 is the required equation of the line. That means this line. That's how we will do this question. Let's move to the next. In the second question, it says find the equation of lines. That means can be more than one line through the point 3, 2, which makes an angle of 45-degree with this line. So we are given a line and that is passing through a point. Let's say I took this line. It's passing through a point, but before that, let's make another line here. As we can see from the question that the two lines are intersecting at a point and its coordinate is given as what? 3, 2. Right, that's what the coordinate. So 3, 2 is the coordinate of this point. Further, we also know the equation of one of these lines. Let's say I take this as x minus 2y is equal to 3. So we know the equation of one line. And the other information we have is these angles are making an angle of 45-degree. And then we have to get the equation of this white line. Now the concepts that will be applicable, the different formulas is number one is y minus y naught is equal to m x minus x naught. Right. In this case, y naught x naught is known to us, right? As you can see that y naught is 2 and x naught is also given. So now the thing that we have to get is m. We don't know m. But we know the angle between them. So the second property which will be, or the formula which will be applying is tan theta is equal to m2 minus m1 over 1 plus m1 m2 whole modulus. Now check. Using this equation, we can get the slope of this line, and applying tan 45, we can get the slope of this line. So once again, in the first part, we'll be obtaining the slope of this line. And once we have obtained the slope of this line, then we'll be using this tan theta to get the slope of this other line, the other line. And once we have got the slope of the other line, what we are going to use is to apply this formula. So let's do one by one. In the first part, as I said, I'm going to obtain the slope of the first line. So slope of this line is what? Using the formula, I'm using m2 as the slope, is minus a by b, right? So what is minus a here? As you can see, it's minus 1 by minus a by b, which is half. And now I'm going to get the slope of this other line. Say I use m for the slope of this line. I took m. So I'll be applying this formula tan, and theta is 45-degree, right? Theta is given as 45-degree. So it's tan 45 is equal to m2 minus m1. m2 is half, right? So half minus m into 1 plus m1 m2. What I've written? 1 plus m1 m2. So it's 1 plus m1 into m2. So it's half m. Tan 45 is 1, but then as I remove the modular sign, there will be plus minus. The step in which we remove the modular sign, we put a plus minus sign. If I take LCM here, I'll get 1 minus 2m over 2. And this part, that is 2 plus m over 2. So this 2 to get cancelled. What do we get here? Plus minus 1 is equal to 1 minus 2m over 2 plus m. Now, next I'm going to get the value of m here. We'll have two possible values. One, when I'll be taking m as plus 1, another minus 1. So begin with taking m as 1, I'll get what? 1 minus 2m over 2 plus m. So by cross multiplication, 2 plus m is equal to 1 minus 2m. Further, this is how much? 3m is equal to 1 minus, that's coming as what? 1 minus 2 is minus 1. So m comes out to be minus half, sorry, minus 1 by 3. And the other time when I'll take m as what? When I'm taking m as minus 1, what I'm getting from here, this is minus 1 is equal to 1 minus 2m over 2 plus m. By cross multiplication, it is minus 2 minus m is equal to 1 minus 2m. So this will give you m on the left-hand side, and this is 1 plus 2. That comes out to be 3. Let me check again. This is m, and yes, we got m here. Now coming back to this formula, which I said, once we get the value of m, we can plug in the value of m and x and y coordinate to get the answer or the equation. So let's make space for the working of this part. So what I'll say here, we know x and y here. So as we know x and y, we can find the equation. So to find the equation of this line, we are going to write the equation as y minus y naught from here, that is 2, is equal to m. Let's say I took this m as first, minus 1 over 3, x minus x naught, that is 3. Now, if I do cross multiplication, what I'll get? 3 times y minus 6, and this multiplied by this, is equal to minus x, and minus 1 into minus 3 is plus 3. Writing in the standard form, x plus 3y minus 9 is equal to 0. Now, this is the first equation we have obtained. This is the first equation we have obtained. Now we can obtain the other equation. Now, in order to obtain the other equation, let's say erase this part. The working of this part is done, right? But I'm going to take m as 3 this time. So let's say taking m as 3 in this equation, this is y minus y naught will remain same. There's one only unique point, is equal to replacing m with 3 here. And this is x minus x naught, and x naught is 3. So it's y minus 2 is equal to 3x minus 9. That's right. And then if I write everything on the right-hand side, 3x minus y, and if I transpose minus 2 to the right-hand side, it is going to be minus 7 equals 0. So this is the another equation. So we have obtained, as I said, in the beginning only, the question says that lines. So there can be two possible lines. Well, there is another reason for why there is a two line. So I have made a line like this. It could have been like this also, right? It could have been like this, still making an angle of 45 degree. And that is the reason why we have two possible equations.